So what should you expect to learn in this class? Well, this is object-oriented programming in Python. So you would say, yeah, obviously we want to learn Python. Well, it is true, and that is what's stated in the learning outcomes in the syllabus as well as the class catalog. But that's not exactly what I'm talking about here. So I think there are something that's even more important than Python itself that you should try to learn in this class. And the first thing, and the most important thing that I think you should learn is actually problem solving skills. And what I meant by that, let me give you an example. So let's say you are given a problem, and this problem involves a book with 1 billion pages with a B. All right, and you're asked to find page 100 million, let's say. So how would you go about solving this problem? So maybe pause the video and think about it for a little bit. It's a very, very big book, and you're looking through page 100 billion. So, okay, now that you've have thought about it, maybe one of the ways that you come up with is actually you're going to start flipping the book from page 1 and then to page 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth, until you get to 100 million. That's a solution. I'm not saying it's the best solution. And obviously, it's really not the best solution because it's going to take a while, but it's a solution. Okay, so um, this is what I mean. This by you probably should learn to how to approach a problem, how to analyze the problem, and how to come up with a solution to the problem. And hopefully, you come up with something better than I came up with. All right. So given a problem, the next thing you really want to learn in this class is to learn the computer science concepts, constructs, and techniques to solve these problems, right? And as an example, in order to solve the problem that you were just given, in using the computer science concepts, here is what's typically called the pseudocode in computer science. So pseudocode is something that's kind of written in, plain English. But it's not just like Shakespearean type of English. It's a very detailed step-by-step instruction of how to solve a problem. So for this particular problem, maybe very first thing we want to do is, like we just said, we want to start at the very first page. And then what do? We actually want to repeatedly do just really kind of the same step over and over. So that's what we have here. Repeatedly do. And guess what? Computer, if nothing else, is really, really good at repeatedly doing something very, very fast. So in computer science terms, repeatedly doing something over and over is actually called an iteration. All right, so what do we want to do in each iteration? Well, basically, since we're looking for page 100 million, at every step of the way, we would just check the page number, right? Is it 100 million? Well, since we start at page 1 is not 100 million. So it's not 100 million, therefore we'll just flip to the next page. Page number 2, well, is it 100 million? No, it's not, so we flip to page 3, so on and so forth. Okay, so we do this for every page until, well, when we reach the page whose page number is 100 million. In that case, we'll say, hey, we found what the page we're looking for and we're good. So we can stop now. So A very simple if, as I hope you understand this, right? If current page number is 100 million, we're good. We found a page. We can stop. We use a lot of ifs in computer science, and it's actually got a name. It's called a conditional. So in this very simple example, we are already exposed to two very fundamental computer science concepts, iteration and conditional. You're going to be learning a lot more other concepts. Okay? And, well, okay, let's get to the next one. The last thing, or the last very important thing that you want to learn is actually now Python. You want to be able to use Python to write or to implement the solution that you come up with, the pseudocode solution that we came up with just now. And what made Python code look like in this case? Well, it could look something like this. You probably don't understand this right now, which is fine. Not a huge deal, but I just want to give you a taste of what Python code looks like. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm defining a function. This function takes a book and the page number is looking for. And it just basically says for every page in the book, if the page number is the page number we're looking for, so in this case, the page number is probably 100 million. If the page number is 100 million, then we found a page and we're done. So we can just return that page. And if we've looked through the entire book and for whatever reason we don't find that page number, which is possible, what if the book has less than 100 million pages, right? If the book just has, say, 10 pages. Then we look through every single page in the book and we didn't find 100 million. In that case, we reach the end and we just say, okay, we give up. We didn't find the page number. So we return none to indicate that we didn't find it. Okay. One important thing I want to point out here is that the pseudocode that we've written earlier, the pseudocode, there's nothing Python specific about this computer science solution / pseudocode. So we actually can implement that in Python as we did here, or we can implement it in other languages such as C or Java. Okay, I hope it sort of makes sense. So here's a summary of what we just talked about, like what we want to learn. Again, the very first thing and the most important thing you want to learn in this class is really how to approach solving problems. Now, why is that the most important thing? Because if you learn problem solving skills, you can apply it in your Python class. You can apply it in Java or C++ class, any computer science programming class. You can even apply them outside of the world of computer programming. Problem solving skills has the benefit of a lifetime. You can use it anywhere that that it's applicable. So that's why it's really the most important thing you want to learn in this class. The second thing you want to learn is, giving a solution to a problem, how do you use computer science concepts, techniques to solve it? Now, so obviously, if you're able to do this, then anytime you're given a computer and you are asked to solve a certain problem, you can hopefully apply those concepts to implement your solutions. And believe it or not, nowadays, whenever you use a computer, even if you say, use Excel, Google Sheets, you can actually write code in those computer applications. So it's not necessarily just limited to C++, Java, or Python per se. And finally, if you're a good computer programmer, and hopefully after this class you become a good Python programmer, then when Python is the right tool to implement a particular solution to your problem, then you can use Python effectively to implement the solution. Right? So that's what we're striving for in this class. But again, most important thing, learn how to solve problems, learn the computer science concepts, and then learn Python, the tool, well.